Okay, welcome to the Sunday update. I can't believe it. It's the last one before 2019. The time has gone so quickly. I was wondering about videos for next year on the shop and some things that I'm going to be getting up to, builds and stuff, and some, something people might find interesting. So one thing is, I get a lot of comments saying nice table, but even better shop, etc. And I've got to be honest, it isn't easy setting up, wasn't easy, should I say, setting up this shop this year. I did enjoy it, but it's been a lot of work. It's unbelievable how long things take, putting up French cleat systems, building shell, all that stuff. It takes forever. And while trying to work and maintain an income, etc. So it's really difficult. And I thought this year, now that most of the structure's in place for the resin shop, etc., I'm going to concentrate on tidying up the metal work side where my son mainly works, because I think we're going to be collaborating on some tables, legs and bits and bobs this year. And also I've got a massive lack of storage in terms of cupboard space and drawers. I've got a couple of drawer units I've had forever, but I don't have many cupboards. Building everything, I'm going to be building some ply cupboards in the resin room. But in here I don't really want ply cupboards. I'm going to stick with a kind of metal look and just so much quicker. The amount of time it takes to build all your own drawer units and all that stuff, sometimes it's just easier to buy it. And I've found a couple of really good bargain units. One wall unit, which I'm going to show you quickly. I'm going to buy a few of those, and I've just found Halfords have got a sale on. I'm going to send you a link to that. I'm going to pick mine up next week. These little drawer units, and they're really inexpensive and could be really good for the shop. So yeah, getting organised. I mean, believe you me, it isn't something that comes natural to me. It is really hard. It does take a long time getting it set up, but once it's done, when you're working and you're organised, it's so much easier. So even though it might take a week just sorting stuff out over a few days here and there, the long run, it's so much faster working that way and being able to find what you've got and not having to keep rebuy stuff because you can't find it. So that's what this video is about, but just about how I'm going to start getting organised, and I'm going to do a series of these over the next few months, and hopefully it'll help someone. So here goes. Okay, so I've been looking for some storage for the workshop, wall storage, and I could make it out of ply, and I know that's what a lot of people do, but a sheet of ply, a good sheet of ply at the moment is about £40, I would say. This unit costs 65, I think. Putting it together looks a bit of a nightmare, but let's see how quick I can get it together. I surely couldn't make one out of ply as quick as this. If it looks any good, I'll be buying a few of these, so I'll share that with you. Okay, so not too bad. It's a bit fiddly, took about half an hour. I mean, it should be okay. I'm not 100% convinced with the way the shelves attach. They just literally sit on these rests here, which don't seem to lock in very well, unless I've done that wrong. No, that's it. They just push in and lay down. They're probably okay with some weight. It's not going to have loads of weight. It's just to try and get the place looking a bit tidier. So here it is with all the bits in it. I've actually decided to use this for my spindle moulder because I was finding that all the bits were everywhere and I couldn't find them. So it's got to put your measuring stuff in there, pushers, my Rui clamp. Someone asked about that. So this Rui clamp has got an adapter on it to take the small Felder rail, which is much smaller than this one. This is for the Altendorf. So that's all in there now. So it's all in one place and really good. It's not too deep. You've got all your spacers, blades, and whatnot. Original fence. Gives me a little bit of a shelf as well, so it's quite good really. All of my bits now for the spindle moulder are in one place, and for £69 I couldn't really beat it. I could make shelves pretty simply out of ply, but by the time I've made doors and put hinges on, some sort of mechanism to keep them shut, it just takes ages, and the ply's not that cheap. So I'm pleased with it. It looks good. And then another little tip could be, if anyone's got any workshop drawers, I mean, I really like that foam insert that people sell, but again, that's quite expensive. So, and you're never sure if you're going to keep your tools the same. So one way I got around this was I found a company. I'll put a link. I found them on Amazon. I think they're on eBay and Amazon in the UK anyway. And they make really inexpensive kitchen drawer trays. And if you just find the closest one and then work out how much you can trim off. You can see here, this is the one I found that almost fits on the drawer. It fits across the way, but the depth is too much. So what you can do is, we'll trim it in a minute, but you can actually trim it back, trim this excess off, and that gives you quite a lot of flexibility. And it's really good the way it tidies up your drawers. And that one's not got it in, but you can see the difference of a drawer that doesn't have it, and you just have stuff going everywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and trim that. It's just plastic, just cut it on your saw, and that's just another little tidy, and I'll put links in, so hopefully that's pretty helpful. And this was one of the things organising. I can't stand waste. I didn't want to burn my nice offcuts of marmoleum, so I made myself these little boxes, one for glues and one for polishes, because now I'm working between the two shops. I want to move them around. I don't want to double up on everything. So I just made those quickly. And again, I'll show you a quick video of me making these. It's nothing flash or fancy, but it still takes a couple of hours to make something like this. And you can imagine if you expand that into wall units, it's a couple of days to do it properly. And we don't always have a couple of days free, so sometimes it can be better to buy this stuff if you can find what you need off the shelf for a decent price. So if you want more information about cutting the marmoleum, gluing it, there's a whole series of videos on a walk-in wardrobe system that I built, and that has all the information you need about marmoleum cutting and gluing. Now I'm going to be using simple spray glue today, contact adhesive, which I wouldn't recommend on large projects because it's very difficult to get it on square in one hit. The great thing about contact adhesive on the smaller parts is it's so instant, obviously. But I'll just leave this for 5 minutes with a clamp on it to really get it flat. Quick cup of tea and that'll be ready. You can get quite quick with a Stanley knife, just going through. Saves the business of cleaning up the router bit as well with some spirit at the end, because the router usually gets pretty clogged. Okay, well that's the last Sunday update for the year. It's New Year's Eve tomorrow. I hope you all have a great new year, 2019. I wanted to thank all my followers, subscribers, nearly 50,000. I can't quite believe it. Really can't when I started this. So much positive comments out there, really helpful as well on some of the projects I'm doing. I'm going to make a big effort next year to my Patreon channel, make more extended behind the scenes, a bit more dialogue. I kind of see it from two sides really. I see that on the YouTube channel there are a lot of people that want all the in-depth and all the information, and are using my channel. I get a lot of feedback. They're using my channel to create products that they actually sell as well, with resins and stuff. I do get phone calls about it. So the Patreon channel is going to be the place for them really, because I'm going to do much more in-depth, much more kind of one-to-one talking. They're using it as a business. They're making money from it. I'm charging very little at all, if any, from Patreon. Not making any money. But it's just a place where I'll be able to do more of a long form video and a bit more one-to-one on the comments, if that's what you're doing as a business. And if you just support me on Patreon, thank you very, very much. It's really appreciated. It does all go back into the workshop, I promise you that. You can see these little things I built. To be honest, I just did it because I just can't bring myself to throw away the mammalium scraps, but it takes forever, which is why I've been looking into these different storage solutions, which are not expensive for the shop. As I said, I'll show you the pictures of the Halford one, which is coming, and when it does arrive, if it's any good, I'll do a little video just to recommend it or not, whatever. But thanks so much, have a great new year, and I'll see you in the new one. Bye.